Hello, welcome to another live stream of Master Investor. Glad to be here again on another valuable talk on money, business, and investing. My name is Jose. I'm the founder of the company and brand. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to our community. Welcome back if you're an existing subscriber. Today we're going to be talking about cracking the code of wealth. So write down some notes, whatever sounds like a golden nugget to you, something that inspires you. Make sure you take action with that information. Otherwise, it's a waste of data. Okay, you can only turn that into knowledge when we actually have the experience of that data. So, one thing that we always stress in our community is like we have to produce. We have to not only take and consume, but we have to grab that information and okay, we have to do something in our lives right now in the next 24 hours with that information. So today we're going to be covering some of the secrets of wealth, or some knowledge, some education on how to create wealth successfully, because everything is changing, right? Today, we have 5 different asset classes that exist that we can invest in. Number 1, real estate. Number 2, business. Number 3, crypto. Number 4, paper assets. Number 5, commodities. And they all require financial education. So I'm also going to be doing a podcast on a live stream like we always do, just to show you also how to syndicate content and how to kill 2 birds in one shot, right? As I'm going through the article, I'm going to record myself and doing a live stream plus the podcast. I will syndicate that podcast throughout all the platforms. It's delivered throughout the entire world. So you can also do the same thing. I'm doing this to inspire you, to show you that it's all about discipline. I'm here every single day providing you the good and bad news of money, the business principles that work in all economies, showing you exactly how it is that we can build wealth using our laptop, okay? You don't need to have a big building. You don't need to have... That was the industrial age. We are in the information age, which everything is digital. And we have to train ourselves to see everything with our mind rather than with our eyes, because it's about the invisible now. It's about being able to create these networks online that allows us to capitalize on our passions. And hopefully you can find something that you can solve around your passion, like a problem that you can solve. So you have to look at your passions. Remember, it's not about us, it's about everybody else. It's about serving the market. In order to become wealthy, we have to serve more people. We have to become more generous. And we have to sell through systems, not doing it one by one, because that's the difference between sales and marketing, right? We talked about that yesterday, the difference between sales and marketing, which was sales is what we do one-to-one, and marketing is sales done via system. And here in our community, we talk about systems all the time, because a sound business is a system of systems, right? And those systems are working hard for us, doing the selling and telling, right? Solving a problem in the marketplace. So we need to understand how to utilize the systems, the softwares that are already created for us. So don't get scared when we say, okay, systems. No, controlling and owning systems is easier than ever today than any other time in history, because everything is all about making it more simple. So today we have a lot of softwares competing for that same service or product, and they're making it simpler. Okay, so we can find different options that are easy to use. In other words, you don't have to have experience in, creating websites or any of this stuff. That's the beautiful thing about the internet and artificial intelligence, that we can have systems, we can solve problems in the world, we can help producing good content, and content that entertains people too, right? It doesn't have to be only business like I'm doing here at Master Investor. However, this channel is for all of us to grow our wealth, and meaning that, okay, you want to have total freedom, control over your time. When we speak about wealth, that's what we're talking about, right? Is the ability to create our lifestyle the way we want to, without having to check in anywhere, worrying about paying the bills, because we have businesses and we control assets on our asset column that are producing cash flow and capital gains income on autopilot. And that is paying for our lifestyle and all of our bills and everything that we have on our liability column. So it's not about shrinking. It's actually about living above our means all of our life. Okay, so always about expanding. And the way we can do that is by understanding how to build the asset column, because the second we master that and we can crack that code of creating our first digital asset, creating our first passive income, right, while we're sleeping, then we understand that we can duplicate that over and over again. So there's never a reason why to shrink, only a reason to expand, because we can have anything that we want as long as we first build an asset or acquire or invest into an asset that will produce enough income, passive income or capital gains income, to pay for that liability's expense. Okay, so we can have any liability that we want as long as we have an asset that will pay for that expense. So that way we don't have to worry about paying it for ourselves, and we don't have to worry about that. That's stressful. That's why a lot of people get sick, because they never master money. So one of the most important things that you can do in your life is to study money, how to build wealth, how the wealthy create their wealth, how come they flying on a private jet and living on the fast track. You have to ask these questions, okay? And there's several reasons why. We're going to cover that today. And as I'm getting ready to set up this podcast here, I want you to make sure you subscribe. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm watching the chat. And I appreciate your time for being here today. And of course, I also want to thank you for the business and taking action. That's the most important thing that I want us to take from today's talk, is to whatever we're learning from our mentors, we have to go ahead and use it right away. Don't sit on it, and make sure you choose them wisely. So I encourage everyone to look out there, other business owners and entrepreneurs and successful people that are teaching how to create wealth, because there are many great companies out there. However, we are the authentic brand of money, business, and investing. But we always encourage everyone to read as much as possible, to get as many mentors as possible, and choose them wisely, invest in their products and services, because one thing we can do in life is learn from other people's mistakes. And that is how we can, it's a shortcut of life, basically. If there's any legal shortcut, learning from other people's mistakes. That way, we don't have to learn the hard way. Although sometimes we will have to learn the hard way, and we have to take the lessons out of that, out of those situations, right? We have to turn that into positive and get the wisdom. But there's not a rule that says we have to learn from our own mistakes. Like, we have to make the mistakes to learn. We can actually learn from other people's mistakes and not make them. That's the best thing we can do, right? Educate ourselves as much as possible, because information is key. Once we have the right information, and when we can organize information, we can capitalize on that information as well, because people are paying thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars per year on information that is organized. So the power of having the right tools, softwares, networks, team, leadership skills, all of this counts in one's life. I want to cover cracking the code of wealth today, and we're going to be diving into building our asset column. We're going to be hanging out tonight. I'll stop the live stream around midnight, but then I'm going to restart it. So stay tuned, subscribe, turn on the notifications. And like I mentioned, if you have any questions, drop it below. If I don't see it right now, I'm going to come back and answer all of the comments, okay? So I appreciate the feedback. We've been growing tremendously here on YouTube, because we've been doing a live stream every single day since the year started. And we want to show people, hey, you can do it, but you need to, of course, put in the time and effort on the asset column. You can break away from the rat race. You can escape your job. You can supplement $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, whatever your monthly expenses like as a whole per month. How much is that? We can supplement that with passive income and capital gains income when we understand how to build and how to acquire assets that are digital. And of course, not only digital, but we can acquire assets that are not digital. But I want you to understand that the internet is our friend. We should use it to make us wealthy. And of course, we can use it too to entertain ourselves. Why not, right? I do my reading and I do a lot of watching on YouTube and also on all the platforms. But I make sure that I consume the right stuff, because you can go down the rabbit hole that is taking hours away from you. And remember, time is the most valuable asset we all have. So don't take 1 second for granted. People are on the deathbed right now, wishing they had one more day in their life. And one more day, I mean, a lot of people are unhealthy. You want to be able to live as healthy as possible to the very last minute in this earth. And the way we can do that is by master not only money, because we have to have good supply of vitamins, right? And eat healthy, have the best supplements. Unfortunately, in this world, these things cost money, right? Maybe in the next world, everything will be like, okay, you want to eat this type of fruit, regardless of how exotic the fruit is, you can go ahead and eat it for free, right? You can just grab it because it's from the earth. So we can have it as much as we want because it's an unlimited supply. And so, maybe in the next world, but in this world, you have to have money. And we're going to use that tool to live for the rest of our lives. So we have to master money. That's why we talk about money here on our channel every single day, because we are bringing the good and bad news of money to teach people how to create total freedom in their life. And the only way we do that is by having assets. It's the only way. Otherwise, you have to be at a job, exchanging your time for money. Now, if you love your job, great. We're not saying quit your job. We're just saying, hey, make a plan. What is that you want to do in the next 10 years? You want to work at your job for the next 10 years because you love it? Great. You're doing it for the experience. You're doing it because you're learning. Now, you want to also invest that capital that you're making into your asset column. But first, you need to have financial education. So what we're doing today is going over financial education. That's what we do every day. And we would never sell investments or tell you where to invest your money. We would never tell you, hey, give us your money. No, we're never going to do that, because that's up to you. And we want everyone here at Master Investor Community. We develop true leaders, wealth entrepreneurs, and master investors. We're not here to develop passive investors, meaning people that have lack of financial education. They give their money away to somebody else. No, we're developing real investors here. People that have control over their finances. People that make decisions, whether it's a small asset that you're building, it doesn't have to be big. One product can go viral. Do you understand that? I mean, one single product that you don't even touch or you don't even have in your vicinity is not even printed. There are many ways we can create passive income and go viral and create tremendous amount of wealth, right? And freedom, because wealth is freedom, meaning that we have an asset that is producing excess of cash flow, and that cash flow is paying for all of our living expenses and is also leaving us even more money to do whatever we want, right? So that's what I'm talking about. And we're going to use that money to buy more assets. I'm going to show you how to create true wealth. And something you're going to learn from here is how to protect yourself, how to avoid mistakes in life. We're going to be talking about a lot of things, so much going in the industry today, right, that we can learn from. I mean, think about it. Sometimes you wish that maybe your life will be a little better, but don't be so fast and jumping and wishing your life could be better. I mean, we can always improve, but be grateful and work with what we have. So don't be your worst enemy. That's what I want you to understand, okay? Be grateful, because you never know what other people are going through. Even if they have a better life in your eyes, you don't know what they have gone through to get that life, number one. Number two, you don't know what karma they got coming for them. You don't know any of this stuff. So just be grateful for what you have. Keep your hands clean, meaning that we have business integrity, we have ethics. We want to protect our freedom. And of course, we have to protect our reputation, right? Because freedom, time, all of these things have, like all of these few things that I just mentioned, like time and our mind, those are the most precious assets we have, because we can't replace them. We cannot replace those two. So we have to protect them at all times. And freedom, right? Freedom is priceless. So you don't want to do anything that would jeopardize those things. Nurture ourselves, eat healthy, exercise, read every day, go to sleep a little smarter than we were yesterday, work on your communication skills, and work on your asset column. Rule number one in our community is that we work to build passive income and make money work hard through sound investing. And that's what the ultra wealthy do. That's why we chose that as rule number one. Everything that we do here is to literally make our community wealthy. We truly care about our community. Every member, person that listens to us, it really matters to us that we all get the right information, that we have the right tools to build our wealth. So we're going to pull the curtain to the side and be authentic with everybody in our community. This is a place where we're coming here to build our wealth. It's not like it's going to be a lot of fun, but it is going to be a lot of fun when we achieve what we're here to do, which is control assets, right? Once you start receiving that passive income and you start experiencing making money, even through affiliate marketing online without touching the products, by just simply doing marketing, which is having systems doing sales for us, right? So you don't have to do the sale yourself. You're going to control systems, and those systems are going to do the sales for us. And those videos that are on those systems, they're not your videos. They're other people's videos, although you can have your own videos in there as well. I like to do my videos because I learn a lot. I like to empower other people. I like to use my abilities, my talents, to not only make the best version of myself, right? I want to look back every year, every week, and say, okay, I maximize my potential this week. The next 24 hours, I'm going to 100%, I'm in, right? I'm locked in my best version. I'm getting to know myself every day. I'm reading more. I'm working on my asset column, my freedom. I don't have to report to anybody, right? I'm living the lifestyle that I like. I'm helping other people do the same thing. And that's what it's all about, living through purpose in life, right? We want to be able to experience the best things in life, because it's one thing if we could just restart, but this game of life, we can't get out of this alive. It's like literally the one game that we have one life. There's only one life, right? In this physical form. So we can leave our mark in the world. People can remember us after we're gone, or you can be average and be forgotten very quickly after you're gone. So it's up to you what you want to do. At the end of the day, I believe we are all talented. If we're here, that means we're great anyway, right? Because just to be in this form right here, as a human, this physical form, is already an achievement. So we have something great in us, but a lot of people don't know how to extract that. And it takes people like myself and other people in our community, true leaders, that can extract other people's talents and make them reach their best potential. We all need mentors. Even myself, I have a lot of mentors. In fact, everything that we do here inside of our community is derived from our mentors. Indeed, 100%. Right? And there's no such thing as like, hey, you're born a genius. No, everything is passed down, and we have talents, and yeah, we have downloads, and we have, innovations, right? It's all about grabbing that and making something better, or getting inspired from that. It is how it works around the world with everything. So innovation is important when it comes to building our wealth today as well, because there's a lot of competition. So if you're selling something with a system, our system has to be sexy, has to be elegant, has to be sophisticated, because people are going to be looking at that offer, and then they're going to have another offer over here, and then they're going to be, okay, this one looks better, I'm going to go with this one, because this one spend a little more money in their appearance. So marketing has to do with appearance as well, because there's a lot of competition. We need to stand out among the competition through innovation. Let me turn on the podcast as we speak here, so we can get ready to dive into today's article. You'll be surprised at how much we have grown. We're almost at 500,000 views here on YouTube, and doing a live stream every day. So listen, if you start even with 5 minutes, I don't care. Even if you do 1 minute, right? If you want to improve your communication skills, like the best way, grab a camera, record yourself, just say what is in your mind, something positive. Maybe go and read a book and say something about that. Say, hey, I learned this today I watched this video, I did this, just like if you're talking to a friend, forget about who's gonna like it, who's gonna comment on it. We will get negative and positive feedback, and I want you to have that thick skin that is all feedback. Who cares? There are people in the internet, they hide behind a computer and they're suffering themselves. So it's okay as long as we making a positive impact on other people's lives. That's what counts. I come on these live streams knowing that one person at least is going to watch this. And every time I look back, there are more than one person that watched this. So I'm like, at least one person that I can change. That makes it worth it for me because I'm investing my time, right? To come here and help our community understand more about wealth creation, how to approach money, how to talk about business, how to protect ourselves, because it's not about only making the money, it's about keeping the money and protecting our assets. A lot of people lose their money and their wealth and, well, their freedom too. We talk about that later. There are a lot of people in the industry right now that are on their investigation, right? We looked at that Diddy thing and we learned a lot from that. It's like who you have around you, the type of evidence that you have, right? People don't understand. It's all about evidence. You always have to cover yourself and you always have to keep your hands clean. Don't do anything that is going to jeopardize your freedom in any way, shape, or form for any type of money. I don't care how much money it is that is offered. Freedom has no price. Okay. And so, I want to encourage everyone, even artists, like athletes, they just have the wrong people around them. And they, trust me, none of that fun is worth it when you end up being in prison for the next 25, 30 years, because that's what he's looking at. Probably more than that. It's not going to be fun, but it looks like it's going to be a big deal. Let me see here. And I'm going to show you here how to also promote your thing on, like, if you're doing a live stream or something. I like to do a little short video and just kind of say, hey, I'm doing a live stream right now. Join me, because there are other people that will join you just by looking at your short video. Okay, so let me show you. So I'll go here. I'll just go to the shorts. Hey, hope you're having a great day. I'm here on a live stream. If you want to join me, make sure you click the link, subscribe. We're talking about wealth creation. If you want to learn how to create money while we're sleeping, then make sure you watch this. Okay, perfect. So I go here. I post that. Put a link in there. It's all about producing. Don't be sitting there all day watching stuff and not doing anything. It just makes no sense. You need to be producing something. I don't care. And today you can pay people that do. If you have money saved in the bank, like let's say you want to create, okay, I want to create an ebook. Well, you can pay somebody. They write it for you. You don't have to write it yourself. Go to Fiverr.com, get somebody to pay, do it for you, and you have it. And you can capitalize on it, put it on Amazon, and that's it. They don't care. The freelancers, they're doing it for you. It's your book. You're buying it. So delegating is important too. So you don't have to create it yourself. You can orchestrate and put it all together, right? Put the deal together. And I show you how to upload it into Amazon the other day. We have many live streams where I show you how to create a digital ebook and a digital low content book or no content book, which means it's a journal, calendar, something that is empty inside just for the user to fill in, like a space, to write down my notes. So those are easy to make. You can make those in less than 5 minutes. Let me see here. But I want to encourage that be focused. Okay, double down when everybody's like partying, when everybody's having fun, and worry about yourself. Focus on your asset column, on what is happening in the next week, and the next 2 weeks, and the next 24 hours. You'll get ahead so much when you focus like that. People don't understand. It's all about being ahead of the masses. Okay, let me see here. Send this. Then I'm gonna grab a drink, turn on I use this app called Podcaster. So I just go in there, and then let me see here. Is this okay? Let me see. Okay. A new one to record, and I'll start, and I'll give a little introduction. Let me grab something to drink, and we will begin. All right, so I'm gonna give my little introduction here. Hello, welcome to another podcast of Master Investor. Glad to be here again on another valuable talk on money, business, and investment. My name is Jose. I'm the founder of the company and brand. Welcome back if you're an existing subscriber, and if you're new, make sure to follow us here and all other social media platforms. Our mission is to elevate the financial well-being of humanity through high-quality financial education. Made simple, we're looking for opportunities to build passive income and true wealth. Today, we're going to be talking about cracking the code of wealth, financial mastery in the digital age. It's about understanding what is going on with the currency, with money, how wealthy people are creating wealth, because everything is changing and we have to evolve. We have to get to the information that is going to take us to riches, right? And it's all about having an investment plan. So if you are someone that is looking to create more money, have more freedom, then this is a place for you. This is a community where you're going to learn how to be a true leader, wealthy entrepreneur, and a master investor. We're going to talk about the values, the core principles of a businessman or a businesswoman. Entrepreneurship is a great journey. It's something that we all have in us. It's something that I believe we can all win of an entrepreneurship spirit that we all have inside of us. It's all about bringing that investor to become a master investor, because we have to deal with money for the rest of our lives. So the best thing that we can do is to master money, make money our slave by understanding how to create wealth, use the new rules of money. We have 3 ebooks right now. Click the link in the description to access one of our digital courses, How to Build Cash Flow with the Internet, Turn Passive Income On. That ebook comes with 49 chapters, 580 pages of financial literacy. If you're serious about creating wealth, this ebook will give you the principles, the history of money, the difference between an asset and a liability, what is wealth, how to create a cash flow system online that builds passive income even while we're sleeping, doing the selling and telling for us on autopilot, selling other people's products, how to do upsells, how to expand on our asset column by diversifying in different asset classes. You're going to learn about the velocity of cash flow, the cash flow triangle, the cash flow circle, the different categories of investors, the different levels of investors, what is a master investor, and how to have the 3 E's of a master investor, which are financial education, financial experience, and excess of cash flow. It's going to literally take you from A to Z, and you can launch your first digital business with this ebook as well. It has the total guide, step by step, on showing anyone how to do this, regardless of your background experience on what industry or whatever it is, it doesn't matter. And if you have an existing business and you're already a wealthy entrepreneur, then this ebook is also for you. The course is also for you. We have additional assets that comes with the digital course. You can also find it on Amazon, all of our books, but when you get them from our website, it's better because you have access to other assets that we add into each ebook, because each book that we have written has turned into a digital course that is vivid because we are updating it as we move along. If we find a new tool, if we learn something new about that certain topic, we're going to add it. And also we are going to be doing exclusive interviews with wealthy entrepreneurs, celebrities, new entrepreneurs, and anybody that has something of value to give regarding that topic of that book to emphasize more on it, then we're going to be adding it. When you get in today, you will be grandfathered in. For any other asset that we add in the future, you will be grandfathered in to have that for free. In other words, you have always 100% access to any asset that we add in there at no cost. You have no reason to you have no reason to turn down the offer because it's something that is going to go up in value, something that is great for you, is financial education, and we have money back guarantee. So if you don't like it, 30 days, I think is our money back guarantee. We'll give you the money back. So make sure you check out our products and services. I believe that is something that you're going to find very useful. It is literally broken down in a way that anyone can understand it. It's very simple, and you can pass this down to your kids. If you have kids, you can give them a copy of the book, okay, whenever they're ready to start reading, right? It's always good to talk about money with your family members, because one thing that breaks partners is lack of money. One works for money at a place, the other one is working at a different job, and what happens is that they grow apart. They have something that it doesn't work in a relationship, which is lack of money. And money means just about everything. It answers all things, right, in this life. So the best thing that a partner can do, right, if you live with somebody, if you have a family or kids, you want to be talking about money, because number one, the ultra wealthy, that's what they do. They talk to their kids about money while they're eating dinner, how to build wealth. They don't send their kids to college to get a job. The only reason a wealthy person will send a kid to school is because the connections that we can get from being at the right place at the right time. Because some of those people will become influencers in the real world. And influencers, I mean people maybe in positions in the government and so forth. So, they're saying that it's not about what you know, but who you know. But I'd say even better is who you know and what you know. It's a little bit of both. That's why self-improvement, self-development, and working on ourselves on a daily basis is a must, because that gives us an unfair advantage. Because once we get put in the right place and we are the right person with the right mindset, then we have all the wins. We have, everything that everybody's looking for. So now we are something that is in high demand, and there's not enough supply of people like that. So we have to build these characteristics, because the more valuable we become, the better we get rewarded from the marketplace. It's just how it is. So one thing we want to do every day is to have a plan of action of the next 24 hours regarding our financial growth. Okay, we're going to read about finances. We're going to take action today. We're going to create our first sales funnels. We're going to invest in our first digital asset. I'm going to contact this freelancer to help me write my book about, if you like cooking, if you like exercises, if you like ice skating, if you like any export, right? If you're passionate about a certain topic, you can write an ebook about that. You can pay somebody to do that for you. And you can, kind of get the entire draft, and you can just, once you have it, then you can just do the cosmetic, pay somebody to do the design, the cover, the back page, and that's it. And we upload it into Amazon. and it gets delivered to thousands and millions of customers, right? We have to take advantage of other people's networks. It's all about using OPM, other people's money, right? Using the bank's money, using debt. Why? Because money is created with debt. Today, debt is tax free, meaning that if the government can print money, then we can also print money. We have to take advantage of inflation and hyperinflation. And people worry about inflation. I say, why are you worrying about inflation? Only people that lack financial education worry about inflation. Why? Because we need to tap into what is called the new rules of money. So we have 3 ebooks right now, the 10 new rules of money, how to build cash flow with the internet, turn passive income on, and how to invest in crypto to build wealth, understand the Bitcoin and blockchain. Today, crypto is not just an asset and an asset class to invest for capital gains income. Today, crypto is a currency and is recognized by governments around the world as a currency. It's also recognized as a form of payment, right, for businesses and even between each other. So now we can use crypto as a form of money to buy assets, to buy things that we want, and we can use those gains immediately. So understanding how to invest in crypto, I think, is a great idea, don't you think? So get our ebooks. We have them available on Amazon. When you get them on our website, it's better because you have the ebook, plus you have assets, and then you have future assets that will be revealed as we move forward, and you will never have to pay another dime in that specific digital course, which you are part of. And what we're going to be doing in the future is that each digital course will have a special event that will be only for our members. So the way you get into the event is by proving that you are part of that course. So just have, even if you got in, let's say today, and 5 years from now, we do an event, right? It's going to be our 5th year anniversary for the event or whatever. And it's maybe in a, in a special place, and it's in a really high-end place with top-end people. Then even if you got in at this price today, then you will always be grandfathered in. So it's just a great face card that you can use, and it has a lot of value. Everything that we do here is to empower our community. We care about our community. So like I said earlier, we're never going to sell you investments or tell you where to invest your money. That's up to each member of our community to decide, to take power over our finances, right? We decide because you are an investor, I'm an investor. We're all building our wealth. We're all sharing our information and how we're using the tools and resources, but we don't tell each other where we invest or how to invest because everybody's wealth number is different. Everybody's lifestyle is different. Everybody's needs and passions and characteristics are different. We have to build our wealth, cater to our personality and who we are, what we're all about, what type of impact we want to have in the world. That's why all of these questions are important, and we will cover them over and over again throughout our live streams and products because we cannot stress enough the importance of the principles that we talk about on a day-to-day here at Master Investor, right? These principles of wealth that are not spoken among schools. One of the main problems in the world is lack of financial education. That's why we set out to solve here at Master Investor. Master Investor is more than an investment management company. We are the authentic brand of money, business, and investing. So let's dive into today's talk. If you'd like to have this specific article, you can subscribe to our newsletter and we will send you the article via email. Summary: professional investors would like us not to know their wealth secrets. It is time to make wise investments because inflation is rising. So like I said, inflation should be a tool for us, right? To get wealthy, not to get afraid. So we need to just make wise investments using inflation because that means that the dollar is losing value. Why? Because the government prints more money. And this happens after 1971, August 15, when President Nixon separated the gold standard from the US dollar. From that point forward, money became monopoly money, fiat money, fake money, an idea backed up by confidence, a currency. And we need to understand that. And we need to play with the new rules of money, because from that point forward, money is dead. In 1974, the petrodollar agreement was signed between Saudi Arabia and United States, which basically replaced the gold, right? To give that dollar the confidence back that it needed in order to become the number one currency in the world. Basically, the Saudi Arabia agreement stated that the United States will give financial aid, financial help in the infrastructure of Saudi Arabia, and also military aid, and in exchange for the condition that every country around the world that buys oil will have to first exchange their currency into dollars and then buy the oil with dollars. And that is the reason why that agreement was signed, to give the dollar back its power, because it's losing value. Okay. And now that agreement is being broken because, if you don't know, Saudi Arabia is accepting other people's currencies without them first exchanging them that into dollars. They're basically breaking that agreement, which is a big deal. I don't know what's going to happen with that, but we just need to understand what is going on and use everything into our advantage. If the government prints money, we can print money. That's how the government works today. That's why we over $17 trillion in debt. And it continues to rise. And the more money gets printed, the dollar loses its value. So how does dollar maintains its value is by moving it from asset to asset. When we have money in our hands or in the bank or safe under our mattress, it loses value, goes back to its intrinsic value, which is zero. So I want you to understand that in order for us to become wealthy, we need to move our capital from asset to asset. When we have money, and even before we get any type of money, we have to have a plan for each dollar and understand how that money is going to work for us to make us more money. Remember that historically, gold rises in value as the currency falls. Invest in assets that are not governed by the government or the Federal Reserve Bank to increase our wealth. Act as they say. Speak louder than words. Does it really matter if Warren Buffett purchased gold or gold mines for $560 million? What Warren Buffett sold to pay for the gold mine is what matters most. All of Warren Buffett's airline equities and a sizable portion of his banking stocks, such as those of JPMorgan and Goldman Sachs, were liquidated. So the question we are asking everyone's favorite macro addict, this guy named George, what does that mean to the master investor community that Warren Buffett is dumping airline stocks and banking stocks to buy huge stakes in the Barrick Gold company? What the Warren Buffett's actions indicated to us, it is more crucial to observe Warren Buffett's actions than what people are talking about them. Recall that Warren Buffett was the person who once said, in Africa or any other place, gold is extracted from the earth. After that, we melt it down, dig it, a new pit, bury it once more, and hire guards to stand to watch over it. It serves no purpose. From Mars, anyone observing will be scratching their head. The fact that, end quote, the fact that the same men sold many equities to purchase gold is what makes this intriguing and worthy of discussion. Investors could see that it was a signal, but was it signaling? Was a wealth seeker exposed right in front of our eyes? Right? Furthermore, the banks are unable to make up the shortfall since the Federal Reserve Bank is preventing them from raising interest rates. Wealth seeker number one, dumping banks. We pay close attention to Warren's bank sales. This is presumably because Warren Buffett anticipated that despite rising inflation, the Federal Reserve Bank will prohibit interest rate increases. This is extremely harmful to banks since the money they receive back for their loans is paid back in dollars that are worth less. To put it simply, the dollar buys less as inflation rises, which means that the dollar's purchasing power has declined. Thus, the banks are in bad situation when they are paid back with these weaker and cheaper dollars. They receive a lower dollar in return for their strong dollar loan. Furthermore, the banks are unable to make up the shortfall since the Federal Reserve Bank is preventing them from raising interest rates. Warren Buffett thus sold his bank stocks holding, which are vulnerable to inflation, and bought gold mining equities, which appreciate in value over time. We must be aware that gold acts as an inflation hedge. In order to fully comprehend this, historically, gold has increased in value when the dollar has declined. The worst part is this is not an issue with COVID-19. Since 2000, the US has accumulated $26 trillion in debt. Although not COVID-19 fresh, this is rather new. The United States accrued around $5 trillion in debt between 1976 and 2000. However, the US government has added to its debt by more than $20 trillion during the past 20 years. Imagine that our excess expenditure is the only cost of our debt. Debt is exactly that. And that is why we broke that agreement back in 1971, August 15, when President Nixon separated the gold standard from the US dollar. The reason why we did that, it was because President Nixon and his team of advisories, we understood that we are a country that imports more than exports, meaning that we are consumers. We buy things from other countries. And if the dollar is attached to the gold and we're buying things from other countries and we're buying things from China, right? Everything is very much from China. Not everything, but a lot of the things that are here in the United States are purchased from China. A lot of things that are on Amazon comes from China. And imagine, so we will have given all of our gold to China and other countries that are enemies. So that's why we have to separate the gold from the US dollar, because we could not afford to give our gold, the real money, to other countries, right? Because gold is limited, I suppose, and it's real money. So what does that mean for us, for our community here at Master Investor? That's great news, because you and I can get wealthier faster than ever before with the government's money, with debt, tax-free, because the government not only incentivizes wealthy entrepreneurs and master investors who are doing exactly what the law is saying, provide housing for other people, invest in technology, invest in gold, invest in things that will help the economy growth. And then we get tax breaks, as they call it. I say tax advantages. We're doing exactly what the law wants us to do, and therefore we get rewarded. So can anybody have access to these advantages? Yes, exactly. Anybody can have, regardless of who we are. It doesn't matter our background, where we come from. None of that. The new rules of money are available for everybody to become wealthy. But we need to understand how to utilize debt to become wealthy, because today the economy runs on debt. So if you're afraid of debt and you say, no, get out of debt, then you're never going to become wealthy. You're going to be working for money, and you need to learn how to use your money to raise capital, to raise debt, to invest in sound assets, to acquire assets that you control, that your companies control 100%. Debt is transferring consumption from the future to the here and now. Stated differently, our nation has been overindulging in consumerism for several decades. I just said that, right? And it's important to understand that. But we use it to advantage. We don't criticize it. I love our system because it's easier to become wealthy today than ever before. We live in the best system ever, the capitalist system. The only way to reach an equilibrium position eventually is to either underconsume by the same amount or more than we overconsume. How can an administration escape the predicament? Although it is unlikely they could tighten their belts and drastically reduce their expenditures, that's not going to happen. If a politician try it, they will not be able to remain in office. People will eject them for society. Therefore, the government must inflate the debt away if expenditure isn't lower. And in essence, they will use less expensive money to repay the obligation. However, there's more justification for selling bank stocks. An increasing number of people will find themselves unable to repay their bank loans as the economy collapses. We are going to leave the bank holding the bag. And then the bank has a group that's called the Green Group. Nobody knows who they are, but they come and bail out the banks when they are in trouble. So the problem with the banks is that a lot of times, because the banks are in the business of lending money, but if the people that are paying the loans back, who acquired those loans from them, they're not savvy investors, and that's what happened in 2008. The banks were giving loans to financially uneducated people. So it's not money that makes an individual wealthy, because a lot of people had money back in 2008 by withdrawing money from their housing, and they thought they were rich. They thought they were rich because their house went up in value, and they used their house as an ATM, and they didn't invest that money correctly because, like I said, it's not money that makes money. It's financial education that makes money. So understanding the new rules of money, position yourself with the right systems, understanding the difference between sales and marketing. That's what we covered yesterday. All of these things matter when it comes to building our wealth. And we want to protect our freedom, time, right? And we want to build our networks and nurture our minds. Our time and our mind are the most precious asset we all have, because those two things we can't replace. Well, secret number 2, dumping airlines. Buffett sold off his airline stocks because he was afraid that the government will take excessive control. The amount of passengers that may be carried on a flight was being severely restricted by the government because of COVID-19 limitations. When Buffett noticed that fewer than 25% of flights were filled, the pressure on airlines to turn a profit on their already slim margins increased. Per flight, they don't make much money. Out of hundreds of seats, just 3 or 4 yield a profit. Airlines need volume flights if they are going to make any money. Airlines are facing a serious issue as a result of an increase in the number of the flights that are 75% empty. Therefore, it is possible that Buffett realized the long-term issues as governments grew more powerful and inclined to maintain lockdowns. The secret to the government's wealth: print more currency. The government will be forced to raise the national debt because it has no other option given the state of the economy and the agony the banks are experiencing. It also lacks a legal means of repaying the debt. There are fewer taxpayers when there are fewer working people. There is a terrible issue when there are fewer taxpayers and more debt. The only apparent solution available to the government is to print more money. Massive inflation results from this solution of printing money out of thin air. The government's solution causes hyperinflation, which in turn causes a complete collapse of the currency, rendering the dollar worthless. However, it's important that we use this hyperinflation to our advantage, even if it renders the dollar worthless, because we understand that every currency in the history of the world has gone back to its intrinsic value, which is zero, right? The continental used to be a currency and it went back to zero. And it used to be a saying, it's not even worth the continental because it was printed so much. However, we have to use everything to our advantage. So it's okay, use hyperinflation to borrow money, cheaper money, to buy assets that are valuable, right? And there are 5 different asset classes that exist. Number 1, real estate. Number 2, business. Number 3, crypto. Number 4, paper assets. Number 5, commodities. They all require financial education. Here at Master Investor, we provide products and solutions around those asset columns. Asset classes. Right now, there are 5. Actually, there is just one good answer. The response is that we must produce. Manufacturing is necessary. War on extreme inflation are the options. And out of those 3 alternatives, the government will select inflation if past performance is any guide. Well, secret. What is feasible for the common person? Let us re-examine the past. Using the early 1970s as an example, we can observe a shift away from financial assets and towards tangible assets such as gold and silver. Consider the 1972 and 1974 stock market crash. Next, consider the massive commodity boom of the 1970s. Buffett is probably thinking back on the things he learned in those days. Although there are no guarantees when it comes to gold and silver, the transition from equities and financial assets to gold and silver seems to be most likely course of events if we study the trends and look at the portability. Let's expand that list to include Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, but when everything is taken into account, such as the quantity of debt held by the government, the deficit, and spending on stimulus packages, infrastructure projects, and other items currently in the news, wealth seekers from astute investors include purchasing assets that are not under Federal Reserve banks or the government's jurisdiction or control. What is meant by that? There is always more than one aspect to something in life. Buffett's 96-old colleague Charlie Munger states, "I wouldn't hang out with a bunch of gold bugs." The 90-year-old Buffett also declared that gold has no utility. Naturally, both have now gained 560 million in gold. Furthermore, veteran financier Paul Tudor Jones recently declared his support for Bitcoin. The thing is, even the elderly are having second thoughts. Observe their behavior rather than paying attention to what they say. In addition to purchasing gold, they're also making investments in gold mining. Why then is that different? Because gold miners benefit greatly from increase in gold prices. Let's take an example where the price of gold increased by 100% to 4,000. In such case, the gold miners will probably see a 400% increase rather than a 100% one. Gold miners have greater negotiating power. Words are not as powerful as actions. As we previously noted, COVID-19 caused a great deal of dissatisfaction in the aviation sector. The instability and volatility in the developed world are good news for gold, despite the fact that this may appear paradoxical. This also applies to hyperinflation when gold likewise exhibits exceptional performance. This is what happens when we start to lose faith in the US dollars and the economy as a whole. Owning tangible assets is once more the answer. Think about commodities. They offer incredibly fantastic value and are greatly underappreciated. Remember, also commodities like agricultural, oil, copper, and uranium, additionally gold and silver, should not be disregarded because they have maintained their value for more than 5,000 years. The fact that so many people are adopting Bitcoin globally, even in China and Venezuela, where people have lost faith in their financial systems, makes it really interesting. The amazing thing about Bitcoin is that there is a limited supply of 21 million units, and some people predict that this quantity will decrease over time due to frequent losses. This is fantastic since an asset with a fixed quantity cannot experience inflation, right? Because crypto, if you forget your wallet's ID, nobody can recover that for you, and a lot of people have lost their crypto. So that's another thing that makes it more valuable. Being alive right now is the most exciting time ever. Everywhere we turn, wealth transfers are taking place. Cryptocurrency, commodities, stocks, and more. In the past, wealth was transferred from the lower and middle classes to the upper classes. But if we are brave and intelligent, we may be the beneficiary of this transfer in this digital age. Recall that we should pay more attention to the prominent players' deeds than their words. Start investing in high-quality financial education today. Let me know what you think of this amazing talk. Write down your questions below. And remember, it's all about understanding how to create wealth with the new rules of money. Click the link in the description. Join our community here at Master Investor. Thank you for listening to another amazing podcast. Bring you the good and bad news of money, the business principles at work in all economies. I'll talk to you next time. Stay extraordinary and wealthy. Bye for now. Okay, that was that right there. Thought that was pretty good. So podcast is done. Let me just finish putting the title here and I'll upload this. I think I need to do something here. Let me go back to Medium. I need to. All right, let me see here. Oh, did I click that? All right, so let me see here. Okay, more settings. Let me go down here. Let me grab the link. Okay. Copy link. And then I'm gonna go back to Medium. So I'm syndicating my content into Medium. There are many platforms where you can start writing any type of content you want and bring in organic leads. Okay, it's important that we syndicate and create backlinks. I talked about it yesterday too on our live stream, right? Backlinks are basically creating other websites or having other websites put our links on their articles and on their websites, because now Google see us as an authority because we are being referred by other websites. So the more backlinks we create, and there are ways that we can achieve this. Okay, I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. Okay. So here what I just did is I put the link of Substack, which is where I'm creating the article first. And then once I post it there, I'll grab the link and I put it here. It says customize canonical link. Basically, it's like if this was published before somewhere else, put the link here. So Google knows exactly that the other place is first. Okay, let me add the title. Okay. Here. I think it's done. Okay, so let me do this right here. All right, so we're good here. I'm going to restart the live stream, and we'll be hanging out tonight. Okay, we're going to be doing some research. I'll be creating some content. I'll show you how to design some stuff for your brand. All right, I'm going to restart the live stream, and I'll talk to you in a few minutes. Stay tuned. Thank you for joining me. Bringing the good and bad news of money, the business principles at work in all economies. Stay extraordinary.